Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaveryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavid Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We'll chant Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verses 16 to 20.
किं कर्म किमकर्मेति कवयोऽप्यत्र मोहिताः तत्ते कर्म प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभात् कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यं च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः कर्मण्यकर्म यः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः स बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु स युक्तकृत्स्नकर्मकृत् यस्य सर्वे समारम्भाः कामसङ्कल्पवर्जिताः ज्ञानाग्निदग्धकर्माणं तमाहुः पण्डितं बुधाः त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासङ्गं नित्यतृप्तो निराश्रयः कर्मण्यभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः.
So far we have studied up to shloka number 16. From 11 to 18 in this chapter, he is talking about how self relates to action. He said all these caste system, the castes have come according to their gunas, and I am its author. I am its author in the sense, without me, nothing can manifest. And yet, though all these things are going on, I have nothing to do with it. All this doesn't taint me. So he very clearly said, I am above all this. All this does not taint me. Actions do not taint me, nor have I a desire for the fruit of action. He who knows me thus is not bound by actions. This is what he said in verse number 14. So, self is the enlivener of action, and self is not the doer. This is what he is teaching here. Self is akarta, and being akarta, it is abhokta. It is beyond doership and enjoyership. It is not bound by the actions. There is no attachment to the fruit of action. All that he spoke about. Then he said, having known thus, once you understand this and you live like that, you rise above your desires, rise above the doership and do your actions, then you are not bound. So he says, having known thus, action was performed by the ancient seekers of liberation. Mumukshubhihi, he says. Evam nyatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi. Therefore, you also perform as the ancients did in olden times. See, and then in 16 he says, even the wise are deluded here as to what is karma, what is akarma, what is action, what is inaction. Therefore, I shall teach you action, knowing which you will be liberated from evil, from the bondage, from the karmic cycle, from the Vasanas. Now, what is said so far from 14, 15, 16, if you see the gist, he's going to expand on that in 17 and 18. These are very important shlokas. This entire portion is a very, very important portion. You should know about karma and akarma. So last week we spoke about karma, what you should do, and what you should not do. Your obligatory duties. Whatever is your obligatory duties, nitya karma, naimithika karma, which is special obligatory duties, daily routine, obligatory duties, and special obligatory duties. All this we spoke about. Now, beyond this also, he is talking very deeply here. You should know what you should do, what you should not do. So I said, people refer to Vedas, people refer to Shastras. If this is what is said, you can do. All this becomes do's. If this is what is said, don't do, then it becomes don'ts. It is not like that. It is not as simple as that. When Shastra says something, it is not going to talk about the obvious. It is talking about something very deep. When he says, upar, if you see, you should know about action, you should know about inaction. What is this? Yeah, I know action. The person is active. In action, the person is sitting down, doing nothing. This is what we take as action and inaction. But what is action, inaction, as per Shastra, as per thinkers, Gnanis? He says even the wise are deluded. The intelligent people, those who have read the Shastras, they are confused. So what he's trying to say here is, when you say action, there is something that we do externally. And similarly, inaction, externally a person is sitting quiet, doing nothing. This is what generally we think as action and inaction. If it was as simple as that, then we don't need Shastras. Why do we need Shastras? We already know this. So what he's trying to say is, when you say action, is it action or is it reaction? What we are taking as action, are they actions that are spontaneous or are they motive driven? Are they a reaction of others' action to us? I have a certain desires deep within me. There is karma inside me. When anything comes into me from outside, that reacts and then I do. They are reactions, they are not actions. I'm worship. You understand? Real action is done by people who are enlightened. Now, they are not reacting. They never react. Their actions are not determined by others' behavior. You understand? If you are nice to me, I act in a particular way. If you are not so nice to me, then I act in a particular way. This is not how they act. You may be nice to me, you may not be nice to me. My actions are not determined by your actions. They are not reactions. They are actions. They are spontaneous. When it's not determined by how you behave to me. Sorry. How you behave with me. It's not determined by that. So what we are calling as action is mostly reaction. We have desires within. The perceptions go, somebody says something, then we react. There's stewardship. But in the actions of the yogis, the actions in the actions of Gnani, there is no doership. And with reference to inaction, we may be sitting down doing nothing, but deep inside there is kartrutva. Is that true inaction? Is that real inaction? No. You know, when you have a argument with somebody and both of you argued so much that you now took it very personal and you stopped talking to each other. Inside, you want to talk. Say, let them first start the conversation. Why should I be the first one to start the conversation? So much of thoughts going on, so much of actions going on. But the person seems to be remaining quiet, doing nothing. Is that inaction? Is that really inaction? That is not really inaction. In fact, this is to do something with what Arjuna wanted to do in the beginning of the Gita. He said, I will not fight, and he sat down. It may appear to you as inaction, but he is creating karma there because there is doership. You understand? This is what he is trying to teach in this 16, 17, and 18. And in fact, in 17, he is going to talk about one more. Here he only mentioned about karma and akarma. He is going to talk about one more. And then only he gets down to that very important shloka 18. So, karma and akarma ke bare mein, even the people who are acquainted with shastras are deluded, are confused. What is action? So you should know about it, he says. Therefore, you should know. I shall teach you. I shall teach you what is real action. And knowing that, you will be liberated from evil. Why you should know that? When you have to know something, why you should know that? By knowing that, what happens? You will become free from karmic cycle. You will become free from Vasanas. You will become free from all evil agitations. Therefore, you should know. In fact, this is something that we all should understand and then function in the world. Without knowing this, we are functioning in the world mechanically. Like I said, people they want just do's and don'ts. This is said, do. Don't do. No questions asked. Is that how simple it is? No. So, are you really doing karma? Are you incurring karma because of your action? Or are you becoming free? Are you free when you don't act externally? So, therefore, what can we call as action? What should be called as inaction? We should understand. He continues.
कर्मणो ह्यपि बोद्धव्यं च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोद्धव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः.
Gahana karmano gatihi. The nature of karma is very deep, very subtle. Yes, verily action should be known. Karmanaha api bodhavyam. You should know about karma. Then you should know about akarma also. And you should know about vikarma. 3 things he says. I told you. Earlier he said 2. Karma, akarma. Now he's added one more. Vikarma also is added. So what is karma? What is akarma? What is vikarma? You should know. Vikarma means forbidden action. Verily action should be known, vikarma should be known, forbidden action should be known, and you should know about inaction. And the nature of action is very deep, impenetrable. Kahana karmanogatihi. Very, very secret, very subtle. In that sense, it's secret. People don't understand. They are functioning without real understanding. They don't know what is action, they don't know what is inaction, they don't know what is forbidden actions. If we take certain things as forbidden action, this should not be done. Okay. Now, in Mahabharata, there was a context where Yudhishthira is asked to say that Ashwatthama is dead. He says, no, I cannot say this. And the story goes that an elephant called Ashwatthama died. So they said, you say that the elephant Ashwatthama died. He said, okay. So when he said elephant Ashwatthama died, and he said elephant, they were playing the drums. So the opposition could not hear. Dronacharya could not hear. He heard it as Ashwatthama dead. And he sat down. This is the story. So now, did he lie? Did he not lie? Like this, many contexts come in our life. It's very easy when you read in the book. But in life, many situations come where we are confused. You understand? Whether it is forbidden or not. You don't know what to do. You know, like Swamiji gives this example. If few negative elements are trying to molest a girl, the girl is escaping from them, coming and hiding in your place. And after half an hour or so, the negative elements are coming. Did you see any girl? Did she come here? Now you are confused. Should I say yes, she is here? Or should I say no? Now you may say, if I say no, then I am lying. And saying a lie is a forbidden action. But if I say yes, then they will take this girl and they may do harm to her. So you are confused. What is forbidden in this context? We are not clear. That's what he's saying. Nobody is clear as to action, inaction, and forbidden action. When you are put in a situation, you are confused. This is because you don't understand yourself. Only when you understand yourself can you understand what is action, what is inaction, and what is forbidden. Because you have to be alive in the context to decide what is forbidden in that context. You understand? If you are not alive, if you are not aware, how can you decide what is forbidden in the context? You take a thing out of context, then it will be forbidden or maybe allowed. What is allowed for somebody in a certain context is not allowed for another person in another context. So how do you determine what is forbidden? He is not listing out, these are all forbidden. Is he listing out? He is only saying, you should know action, inaction. You should know action, inaction, and forbidden action. I will teach you. Knowing this, you will get liberated. And he actually teaches that only in 18. But he's just saying, you should know. Because the fact that he's saying, and wise people are also confused, means whatever we are thinking now to be action, inaction, and forbidden action is not correct. There is much more to it. That's all he wants to communicate here. isn't it? We are thinking this fellow is doing action because he is externally acting. Another fellow is sitting down doing nothing. He is inactive. He is in inaction. Another person is thinking these are all bad. It is said so in the Shastras, so I will not do all that, whatever may be the context. So he is following the Dharma and is not doing forbidden actions. They are all forbidden actions. People are confused. We should understand. So, like I said, are we acting? Are we reacting? What is going on? Sometimes we don't know whether to say something or keep quiet. In that confusion, we are keeping quiet. Even though we are keeping quiet, we are acting. So, all he wants to say is, there may be a situation where a person may be acting but not acting. There may be a person who is not acting but acting. And there may be something that is forbidden in a certain context. Another context, it may not be forbidden. So you should know clearly. How do you determine that? You can only determine all that by knowing the nature of yourself and keeping yourself alive in the present totally is where you can come to know what is action, what is inaction, what is vikarma, forbidden action. That's what he discusses in 18. It's very interesting. So I could have spoken more in these shlokas itself, but I'm saving it for verse number 18. I just said only one thing. What we are doing as action today, most of the time, reaction. They are not true action. That's why it is binding. The actions of the liberated, actions of the Gnani is not binding. Why? The actions of Gnani is not reaction. They are actions. What we are taking, they are all reactions. There is a desire, and our action is propelled by that today. Of course, it will have bondage. And there is a desire, even when we keep quiet, and there is bondage. So, when you gain the true knowledge about action and inaction, then you will be in true action and true inaction. And in fact, they are inseparable from a very deep angle. And that is what he explains in verse number 18. Let's go to shloka number 18.
कर्मण्य कर्म यः पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः स बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु स युक्तः कर्मकृत्.
He who sees inaction in action and action in inaction is wise among men. Sa buddhiman manusheshu, he is wise among people, wise among men. Sa yuktaha, he is a yukta, yogi, centered, kritsna karma krit, a doer of all actions. Kritsna karma krit, doer of all actions. So he is saying, he who sees action in inaction and inaction in action. First he says, Inaction should be seen in action. Inaction, one word, then another word in, then action. Inaction, in action. Then he says, you should see action in inaction. Action, one word, space, inaction, another word. So you are confused. What is this? Action in inaction, inaction in action. My God, this is totally confusing. When he says you should see inaction in action, to remove the confusion and put it in a nice way, easy to understand, you should see the Atma in action. Then it's easy. Atma is a non-doer. You understand? That not doing, not having the doership while doing the action. In fact, the real action is when the doership is not. That is action. So what he said, you don't know what is action. So what he's trying to say here is, the real action is when the doer is not. When you are singing in the bathroom, no doership temporarily. Easily you are singing. When you become aware that there is somebody outside, then suddenly you're not able to do action. So the real action happens when the doership is not there. I am the doer attitude is not there. So he says, you should see inaction in action. You are traveling from Delhi to Jaipur in Shatabdi train. You're so tired. Usually these trains start early in the morning also. There's one train in the morning, early morning. You get into the train, you're tired. Sorry, you sleep off. You're sleeping. The train is moving. You reached Jaipur. You get up, you're in Jaipur. Did you move or the train move? You understand? Did you move or the train move? You are sitting in one place. In fact, you lie down also. You are in deep sleep. You get up, you are in Jaipur. So, did you go from Delhi to Jaipur? What is happening there? Think about it. That's what he's saying. He who sees inaction in action. Train was moving. I was sitting. Or I was lying down. Similarly, actions are happening. I am remaining there as a witness, as a sakshi. You understand? This is called inaction in action. So, really speaking, in real inaction, there is real action. Do you get that? Not in the physical inaction. He's not talking about that. He says, karmanya karmayak pashyet. Akarmanicha karmayah. So, inaction should be seen in action. While action is going on, you see the self, which is a non-doer, remaining there as a sakshi. remaining there as a Sakshi. So today I am not being a Sakshi to my action. Zero awareness. I am not alive. Only when there is awareness, to that extent I am alive. So when that awareness is there, seeing going on, hearing going on, smelling going on, tasting going on, touching going on, all these are going on. And I am aware, sitting down, doing nothing, observing, watching, while all this is going on. There, what is happening? There is action, there is inaction. Both are there, no? So what are you seeing there? You are seeing action in and through all these actions. You are seeing the inaction in and through all these various actions, perceptions, actions, emotions, thoughts. So therefore he says, he who sees inaction in action and action in inaction. This also very interesting. See, action in inaction. Now, it could be like when, like I said before, you're sitting down, doing nothing, but deep inside the doership is there. So you are seeing the karma in a person who's sitting down doing nothing. This is what Sri Krishna told Arjuna. Because you may be sitting down, Arjuna, but inside you, the doership is still there, so you're going to create karma. On the contrary, you may see me on the battlefield, acting. And what kind of action? Killing. And you are also killing people like Bhishma Drona, who are generally known as good people. So isn't that forbidden? This is the confusion. You understand? So he says, there may be action in inaction. You should see that also. Action in inaction. And not only that, only a person who sees inaction in action can really do action. That's what he's saying. First thing is, yes, you should see inaction in action. First, you have to go within you. We are all running outside. We are not aware. Going on reacting. Somebody hurled abuses at Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha didn't react. Students reacted. His disciples reacted. He didn't react. Even some people spit on him. No reaction. He said, anything else you want? You see, he is aware, he is watching, and he is deciding his course of action. Is that what is happening in our case? No. The moment that fellow spits, we do something. That is what we think as action. That's not action. So, they have found the self. They are being a Sakshi. The Sakshi is doing nothing. Being an observer to all the actions. And when you have identified with that Sakshi, the non-doing, enlivening principle within Sakshi Chaitanya, then he says, you will see action in inaction. In such people, there will be real action. There is no reaction. We may react doing something, we may react not doing something. In their case, they no reaction, they don't react. They act spontaneously. And in that awareness, whatever they do is not forbidden. You can only do forbidden things when you are in non-awareness. You can't do forbidden things, forbidden actions when you are in a state of awareness. You try. Not possible. There's a very interesting story of the sage Nagarjuna. Sage Nagarjuna is a very simple person. He had nothing. He was living in a small kutir and had a begging bowl. That's all. Simple begging bowl he had. But the queen of the country, kingdom, was following him. Was a devotee of him. So when he goes for bhiksha, one day queen said, "You have to come for bhiksha in my palace, in our palace." Bhiksha means lunch. So he went. He said, "Okay, for him it doesn't matter." He went. He gave a nice, sumptuous meal, whatever he wanted, he ate, and he was about to leave. That time the queen said, "Bhagwan, I want Guru Dakshana, I want Guru Prasad from you. Please give me your, what do you call, the begging bowl." She took the begging bowl and she gave another begging bowl as Guru Dakshana. Guru Prasad, his begging bowl she took. A Guru Dakshana, what? Diamond studded begging bowl. Okay. Glittering. Arrangement didn't matter. It's a begging bowl. He took that begging bowl. He started walking towards his kutir. Another guy who was passing by is a thief who steals at night. He saw this glittering begging bowl. My God, man, diamond studded begging bowl this fellow is having. And he started following Saint Nagarjuna. Saint became aware of this. He started walking a little fast. And this fellow started walking fast. He started running, he also started running. And then the saint went inside the kutir. From inside, he threw it out. This fellow was coming, running to enter the kutir, caught that begging bowl. He was stunned. Hey, diamond studded begging bowl is thrown. He said, "Who is this guy, man? Let me meet him." So he entered. He said, "What can I do for you?" "What do you mean, what can I do for you?" "Ah, because you were following me for this begging bowl. I threw it, you took it. Still you are coming here means you want something else. So what can I do for you?" He said. He fell at his feet. He said, "Swamiji, you know I am a thief. I keep stealing. And I've tried many times to stop this stealing. I didn't want to steal. Don't want to steal. But still I'm continuing. I don't know what else to do. I can't stop it for long. I stop for some time, then again I get in. What should I do?" He said, "Don't do anything. Just continue stealing." He was stunned because earlier also had gone to many swamis. He said, "I'm stealing. I want to stop. Please tell me. Okay, we bless you. All your paps are removed. Now don't steal. Okay, go do this. Go do this." Like that they were blessing. So this fellow went. For a while he will not steal. Again he'll get back. But today, this Swami, Saint Nagarjuna, stealing, continue stealing. What? Yeah, continue stealing. Go and steal. Maybe another 10 times you can do stealing. But only one condition. Every time you steal, please do that with awareness. He said, "What? Yeah, do that with awareness." We were left. After 2-3 attempts, he couldn't steal only, first of all. 2-3 attempts he made. He came running to Sage Nagar. He said, "My God, you've performed miracle. I can't steal," he said. "I can't steal." Because when awareness comes, stealing goes. You understand this. Not just stealing. Anything forbidden you cannot do. Impossible. Forbidden is not decided. Ye karo, ye mat karo. It's not like that. We want everything written because we do not want to be in awareness. We cannot do things spontaneously. So that's what he's saying here. When you see akarma in karma, then there will be karma in akarma. There's another deeper meaning, isn't it? Then you will see karma in akarma. Such people do real karma, real work. You read Swami Ramtita, all his lectures, he'll say Rama said, as if Rama is somebody else. He's referring to himself only as Rama. His lectures will start as, "My dear ladies and gentlemen, my dear self in the form of ladies and gentlemen." That's how he starts. "My dear brothers and sisters." My dear self in the form of brothers and sisters. Sorry. "My dear self in the form of brothers and sisters." "My dear self in the form of ladies and gentlemen." Like that he talks. And he says, "Rama saw, Rama did." Like that he keeps talking. Who is this Rama? As if he's talking about somebody else. He refers to himself in third person. So there is Rama doing, Rama talking, Rama seeing, and Atma seeing, Rama doing. That's what he's saying. So what is that? Karma in karma. And the same Ramatita says, there's a very interesting topic which Swamiji also has given in the Vedanta Treatise book. Finite is infinite. This topic is there in the Vedanta Treatise. Finite is infinite. Now, what you look at yourself now as finite, right? When you see a seed, it looks like finite. It can be easily, kept in your palm and close. It's looking so finite. But is it really finite? From the seed, tree comes. From the tree, so many seeds come. From it, so many trees and so many seeds. Is it really finite? So he's asking, you are thinking yourself to be finite. Who's behind the nail growth? Who's behind the hair growth? Who's behind the digestion? Who's behind the blood circulation? Who's behind the perception? Who's behind all this? It's the Atma. So all these actions have emanated from that Atma only. So then you are seeing what? Are you seeing inaction in action? You're seeing action in inaction. In that presence, everything is possible. You go to Dubai, you see all these buildings and many things you see there. Because petrol is there, oil is there. You understand? So, all these actions are in inaction. The more and more you move towards the center, Sayukta means one who's moved into the center. That person is Yukta, he says. So Buddhiman is Buddhiman because he moved to the center. We all move to the periphery. We're all moving to the periphery. Sabuddhiman, Sayuktaha, Kritsna Karma Krit, a doer of all actions. All actions emanate from self. No action is possible without the self. Impossible. isn't it? No car can move, no vehicle can move without petrol. Yet petrol is a non-doer. So this is what he's teaching here. He who sees inaction in action and action in inaction is a wise among men. Hello, he's a wise guy. He doesn't react, he only does spontaneous action. And that action doesn't incur any sin. No way. So, such a person has only understood what is forbidden and he will not do forbidden action. There's no way he can do forbidden action. Anything he will do, like that Saint Nagarjuna story, will be in a state of awareness. How can you, in a state of awareness, do something evil, forbidden? So you don't have to take a book and read, this is done, this is not done, this is forbidden, this is not forbidden, nothing like that. That's why when we read stories, Ramayana, Mahabharata and all that, we are all confused. What is this here? And then we say, oh, Sri Krishna did it, Sri Rama did it, it's okay. So this is what he's teaching here. This is something very, very deep. We already said, Gahana karmano gatihi. Karma's gati is not possible to be deciphered. It's too difficult. So deep, it is very subtle. We think, it's very simple, I will stop acting, then things will be fine. No? And when you really find the self, why would you stop action? All actions are from you. He says that in the 15th chapter of the Gita. The light in the sun is mine. The light in the moon is mine. He says that. And wherever you see actions, it's come from me. You will start understanding like that. So wherever there is real action, that is because there is self. So only a person who's enlightened does real action. What all of us are doing is not action then. They are thinking, what a great actor I am. I'm not a useless fellow, very responsible. Highly responsible fellow. I do things. He's saying you do nothing. What all you do, you only do complicated things. You complicate things, not complicated things. You complicate things. So, that's why in the Upanishad it says, Iha chedaveti data satyam asti. Nachediha veti mahati vinashti. If you have not known the essence of Veda, not Veda, if you have known the essence of Veda, you found the self within. You are a yukta. And if you have found the self within, you achieved the greatest of achievements. Otherwise, it's a total loss. Mahati vinashti. Nashti means loss. Vinashti means great loss. Mahati vinashti means supreme most great loss. So, therefore, he says, one who sees inaction in action will see or will do action remaining inactive. Inactive in the sense, remaining non-doer. Any work you see, a person who is generally a chatterbox, going on talking, never keeps quiet. You put him on a podium, he becomes self-conscious, cannot talk. Because doership is there. When the doership is not there, beautifully he delivers the speech. So, there is action in inaction. There is inaction, inaction. While the actions are going on in the outworld world, even when you are seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, or anybody is doing, inside that there is this non-doer remaining as a sakshi. And whoever has seen that, he is united with that. He alone does action. Action in inaction. Real action is in inaction. If you have not united with the self, what you are doing is not real action. It's just reactions, just jumping like a chicken without head. And when you do real action, it has no karma. There's no karmic cycle. It doesn't bind you because you're doing it with awareness. You do things without awareness, you get bound. That's what he's saying. Such a person, he says, a doer of all actions. Remaining a non-doer is doing all actions. Kritsna karma krit. Beautiful shloka it is. Karmanya karmaya pashyet. Akarmani cha karmayaha. Sabuddhiman manushyeshu. Sayukta kritsna karma krit. Absolutely no motive to action. Without any motive, he performs action. We are all not like that. We all have tremendous motive. So, that's why we need Shastra. Shastra is needed because what seems to be upper clear. Problem is we are not even clear that we are confused. From our angle, we are clear. Are you really clear? What is action now? So what is action? What is inaction? Are they separable? Are they separate? So we have something like, oh, this is action, this is inaction, that is forbidden action, akarma, karma, vikarma, all these things we think. So they are not going to stop acting. People have another fear. You come to Bhagavad Gita, you stop acting. When you come to Bhagavad Gita, you start doing real actions. You really start acting from then now only. You really start living your life from now only. Till now, total waste. Simply roaming around unconsciously. Absolutely no awareness. Therefore, if you have understood this, sayuktaha, sabuddhimam, he is united with the self. He is the wise fellow. He is the one who has buddhi. Not so much of gathered so much intelligence. You are not buddhiman. Your actions that goes in gathering, are they actions? Those are trying to protect the ego, which actually doesn't exist. You understand? It actually doesn't exist. So therefore, is very deeply saying the nature of action is impenetrable. Hardly anybody acting, one or two fellows. Somewhere there, where you see so many people doing so many things, very active, very dynamic, this thing, no dynamism. Nothing. Just mad running, like chicken without head. Those he doesn't call as action. They don't qualify as action. This alone qualifies as action. Let's conclude. ॐ ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः